Morning, Don. A couple quick ones for you. Goaltender decision for tonight yet?
Goaltender, we're going to go with Hauser.
And last night, Vinny Hinostroza only played one shift in the third. What is his status at this point?
Yeah, he's out. I'll have a further report, Mike, when I get back, so it's a little bit more specific. But he's not. He didn't travel with us last night. It's. I guess I'll withhold and give you an update when I have definitive information on it, and that'll be when I get back. Similar with Miller and who else went out? Gergensen. I'll have more, more information on both those two injuries because these couple of days, as I mentioned yesterday, we're with the holiday and the imaging that we needed on those guys, we'll have. I don't want to say definitive, but more information on timetable for all three of those guys when we get back.
And would the same apply to UPL also?
Yes, same. UPL is, he's improving and on track, so I can give you more details on that one as well. The other ones we were finding out more of what the injury details on the injury, just so you're aware.
So I guess Brett Murray would be it for Vinny, and just the confidence you have in Hauser based on last season and your time around him. Can you just talk to that? What the confidence you have in him?
Yeah, the confidence that you gain in Hauser, you've seen him last year, so you know how well he prepares for his opportunity, and you put him in a game tonight. Obviously, you want to support him as best you can as a team and from the team side. But you know that he has been internalizing and visualizing and planning on and getting ready for a start. And you also know that he knows how to do that. He knows how to prepare himself. So, I guess the feeling on the coaching side is he's in as good a place as you can be and hope your player would be. He has hindsight. He has some experience, certainly in this, he plays a very passionate game. So he gets the start.
Hey Don, Claire Hanna here with TSN in Ottawa. You guys haven't, I know last night with the snowstorm, I think there were about 1,000 people in the stands, but what are you anticipating from the game tonight? No fans in the stands.
Yeah, it's something we haven't experienced in quite a while, and we talked about it as coaches. There's been even last night I mentioned that even though there was only a small crowd, it seems the smaller crowds you really feel the passion of the people that get to the rink and they want to be there. They're determined to get to those games, and you feel that energy. But with nobody in the building, you just hear the music echoing. It is a different feel. It's totally different. It was a big adjustment for all teams, but I know for us to get back when we got back to enter to buildings that had that vibrance of fans and crowd noise. It was something we had to get reacclimated to and control momentum and deal with that crowd noise. So it'll be odd, probably a little bit surreal, because although the pandemic's here and crazy, it's been a while since we played with no fans.
How do you prepare for that? How do you try to, jack the guys up?
Well, the guys love the game, and I don't worry about that because they are passionate about the game, and they want to do well and play well, and they know that they're playing an opponent that's very capable every single night in the NHL. So the focus is still on the same strategy, same game plan, game type planning, a new opponent and what they bring and what we have to bring against them. And I don't think crowd or no crowd will affect the concentration and focus on that.
Because of circumstances, Hauser got to play every game for like a week or a week and a half in Rochester. Do you feel that really helped his confidence come along to get that many starts right in a row? Paul,
he did get better as he progressed and more comfortable as he progressed through those games in Rochester. So, yes, I think that was a big help for him. And, again, I think the familiarity with us and our team and teammates, going through. I mean, last year was quite an experience for him to go through and thrust in a situation that, he never would have expected, I guess, thought of being in the NHL at that point. And all of a sudden you are, and you're playing games. And, this time around he has a little bit more hindsight, but his preparation is always awesome and great. So, again, he's a guy, I'll add to what I've already said, he's a guy that teammates want to play in front of and play hard for. So we hope that's a positive factor tonight as well.
Don, one other thing on the fanless game. I mean, how does that change the communication on the ice, on the bench? Or do guys have to be louder to just make sure they're in the game? Do you try to make sure the other team's not eavesdropping? I mean, what is the dynamic with the on-ice communication with no fans and no noise?
Yeah, you don't feel as the other team's eavesdropping at all. It's interesting. You don't hear the other bench much. Even though the building, there's a lot of, when the whistles blows and it's in between whistles, in between puck drop, there's noise. The sound system's on, so you won't hear the other bench by virtue of that. And then in game, yes, you do hear players yelling, but there's no tactical advantage to that that I see. But you can definitely hear more of the communication that takes place, some echoing of it even. Which I think you can pick up even on the telecasts, but it's not a big change. Again, when the puck drops, these guys, even 18,000 people in the building or not, the guy lining up across from commands their attention. I mean, you know the injuries we're dealing with around the league. You're not ready to play, you're going to get run over and hurt. So the focus when that puck drops, it's like nobody's in the building anyway. Most of the time because of the the urgency of physicality within the game of hockey itself.
Thank you.
Coach, speaking of playing loud, Jeff Skinner's been doing just that with 4 goals in his last 5 games. He's back above a 30-goal pace for this season. Is there anything you've seen from him in this recent stretch that maybe was missing, in these last couple of seasons? In his prior 100-plus games, he only had 21 goals coming into this season.
Yeah, coming into the season was what I saw in a real change. He was very committed and adamant to change this, and you don't snap your fingers and change things, at this level because of how competitive the goalies are, the defensemen are, the other team is. This is the highest level in the world. So, even if you want to change things, it's still you got to grind through a process and he was willing to grind through a process. He came in great shape. He practiced harder. He practiced with more intent. He played with more intent. The results didn't follow early, but I mentioned to our media that I could see that intent and intention in a relentlessness to it. It wasn't he did it for a week and then he got discouraged because he didn't score. He stayed on it. I think that's a tribute to him, to his support around him. And he battled. And then from us, when we see that as coaches, you see that effort and that determination. I think it's your job as a coach to help put that type of player in a position to succeed. And that was my conversation with Jeff. If you're going to, you have to continue that. You do. I'll do my part as a coach and work to put you in positions to succeed, knowing that, I have confidence that you're going to because of the work I see. Just keep that up, and it really was all him taking the initiative, and it's great to see him scoring. It's good for all of us, obviously, as a team. But when you have a guy that puts that effort in and it doesn't get rewarded even through the early phases, you're really happy for him that he plugged away.
I'm just going to jump in here. Sorry, I'm not sure how this works. Claire Hannah again here. You haven't faced Ottawa in like 2 years just because of, the bubble and everything last year. How does that sit with you?
Well, their style of play is, they can spread the ice out quick. They have a style and stretch you out like a Pittsburgh does. Jersey stretches out. I mean, they're fast counterattack team, and it's usually a fun and entertaining game to watch and play. And there's enough grit there. So, we all as teams are almost categorized. 32 teams in the league, but there's overlap by every team in each situation, and then there's a little bit of identity, but there's teams share identities. So it's not even though we haven't played them in a couple years, it's easy to see how they play, their strengths, and I'm sure it's easy for them to do the same with us with respect. So it's fun to play different opponents. It's fun to come to different buildings, and it's nice to be here in a different environment.
Hey Don, I'm gonna see if I can do this right the second time because I boned my chance the first time. Last year, a lot of chaos in the crease. You used 6 goalies all year between trades, injuries, what have you. And now we're looking this year. We're about halfway through the season, and Michael Hauser is going to be the 6th different goalie for this season. And I know you trust him. I know you said guys want to play hard in front of him, and he's got NHL experience. But for you, when you have just this seemingly rotating whatever of goalies in net for the second straight season now, how much does that kind of complicate your job, or are you still looking to do the same thing, even though seemingly it's a different guy in net, depending on the week?
Well, it is. It's unfortunate. There's no question that you're losing. Any team in this league that loses its number one goalie, I mean, the number one goalie is the number one goalie, and it is a challenge for every team. I think Tampa a couple weeks ago lost their number one and number two goalies, and they struggled, and so it is a challenge. But I like the way our guys handle it from the goaltending standpoint. The goaltenders that come in, I really do commend our guys that come in, 4, 5, and 6 deep to compete the way they've competed, and our team to still battle and focus the way they have focused. So yes, it's a challenge, obviously, but you need to handle circumstances, and these are just circumstances, and you need to handle them well. And we're a team that needs to grow, an organization that needs to grow, and adversity and growing through adversity is something that is the best thing you can do is learn to grow through adversity. So if we look at this and we just throw it in a category, it's an adverse situation, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it and still have the intent upon winning. And like you said, I commend our guys for that. From the goaltenders to the whole team, we still go out, believe we can win games and work to find a way to do that. And that's ultimately what's needed.
Just one lineup thing. Is Brett Murray in for Vinny, or is there going to be another move?
He is, and Brett is in, and Tage did not travel with us because of COVID protocols and international travel. So Jankowski is in for Tage, who couldn't make the trip, and Murray goes in as well.